Hello, YouTubers out there. Welcome to another edition of Broadcast Rock. On this episode of Broadcast Rock, we're going to be going over the new Muse tour. Will of the People World Tour. Was it any good? Of course it was good, but just how good? We're about to find out. So yes, today we're going to be talking about the Muse tour featuring One OK Rock and Evanescence, and obviously headlined by Muse. Well, how good was it? I know you're asking. First, I'm going to break down a little bit of every band and go into every band because I want to get into this concert pretty in depth because it's worth it. So first up was One OK Rock, and I wasn't familiar with their stuff at all. I'm not gonna lie, I knew they were a J-rock band, and that's about it. But they were surprisingly really, really good for being an opening band and being a band I had never really caught wind of. They were really good. I want to say they have 8 CDs out. I checked out the last one that they primarily played off of, and it was really, really good. I'm going to actually be doing a review on that album later this week, so definitely look out for that. But the lead singer had plenty of energy, the band had energy, they sounded solid. They, for being an opening act to open up for Evanescence and Muse, that's a hard pill to swallow, and they did a really good job on it. I give them props. They were solid, and they kept me interested. So then next up was Evanescence, and I'm gonna say I'm a little biased here because they're my second favorite band of all time. I love Evanescence. I've loved them since day one, since Bring Me to Life came out, all of it. This was my 6th time seeing Evanescence, and they didn't disappoint. They were incredible, like always. They played 14 songs in total. They played the hits that you would want. They played the new songs from their new album. They played a lot. For being not the headlining act, they played 14 songs, which, you know, that's a pretty good amount of time, if you ask me, squeezing in there an hour set. The only song they didn't play for me that I was really upset and looking forward to was My Heart Is Broken. I was really bummed that they didn't play that, and, well, my heart was broken that they didn't play that. But Amy Lee sounded great, and this is also the first time I saw them with Emma Andrea on bass. She's from Sick Puppies. And then Tim McCord switched from bass to guitar after they fired Jen Margea. I probably butchered her name too, but I'm sorry if you hear this. But so it's the first time I saw Emma on bass for Evanescence and Tim on guitar for Evanescence, and the switch was really, really good. They did a solid switch, and it was neat seeing Emma because she sings too, along with how she sings on Sick Puppies. She sung backup for Evanescence, and she sounded really good. So Evanescence was awesome. I was great if the concert ended right then and there, and I didn't have any other band performing after Evanescence. I would have been happy. But I did have a band performing after Evanescence, and that band is Muse. Now, woo! Muse. So I liked them. I've always liked Muse. I have all their albums. They've never been like my favorite band, but I've liked them above average. Last time I saw them in concert, they was a long time ago. I want to say 7 years ago, 6-7 years ago, and it was it was a smaller arena. It wasn't in an arena, it was in a smaller amphitheater, and it wasn't a big production. I mean, it was a big production for most bands, but by Muse's standards, it wasn't their huge production. So I thought they were great live. Hence, that's why another reason I saw them. But my primary focus of the night was seeing Evanescence. But man, when Muse came out, I have to tell you this, starting off, I've seen a lot of bands live. I've seen Metallica, Rammstein, Rob Zombie, Motley Crue, those are some of the Kiss, some of the top bands that you can think of for live acts. I've seen just about everyone. Bon Jovi, my favorite act ever. And I can't believe I'm saying this, but Muse was the best live act I've ever seen in my entire life. This performance / show they did was amazing. They played on top of their game, and the coolest part about this was like a story. They told from the beginning to the end of the concert they had little bits of a story woven in between performances of songs. They had computer-generated movie playing. I mean, they had fire. They had a big giant head that came rolling out. Then they had a big giant demon-looking head that came rolling out. They had mirrors that came from the ceiling. They had lights everywhere. They had confetti. They had snowflakes. I'm talking about the actual snowflakes. They had everything you could imagine crammed into one performance. It was phenomenal. I can't rave about this performance enough, how good Muse was. I was there for Evanescence, and Muse destroyed everything about that night prior to them. They have destroyed my expectations on what a live act should do. They sounded better live. I wanted a live album of theirs so I can listen to it live, because they sounded heavier, they sounded meaner, they were great. Everything about this was perfection. This was the perfect live act. Nothing about it was wrong. It was so good. I cannot express enough how you need to see this band live during this tour. I looked it up to see if they were coming out anywhere near close again, and they aren't. I am so upset. This is the first show I've ever turned to my wife while they were playing and said, "Holy crap, this is amazing." This is the first time I've ever done that. And like I said, I've seen Rammstein, Rob Zombie, Motley Crue, Kiss, Metallica, the bands that people try to live up to performance and production-wise, and this band demolished everything I have seen prior to this. So I strongly recommend you checking these guys out if this tour comes to you. They played for 2 hours straight, very little talking, 20 songs they played, 4 interludes, so total of 24 songs. And man, this was a great show. So I'm going to be giving this a 10 out of 10. Perfection. If I could give this a higher than a 10, I would give it a higher than a 10. But 10 out of 10 is what I'm going to be giving this. So comment down below if you've ever seen Muse live, or if you want to see them live, or who's your favorite live act. And let's have a chat about that. And until next time, hit the like and subscribe button and rock on.